Man, look at Mitch's awesome freaking steering wheel right here. Look at that.
Daily,
look at that, dude.
NRG got the back.
What? And it's got a quick release? What's going on, guys? Another day of build and battle. Obviously, I'm not at the garage right now. We're actually at CBM Motorsports. These dudes are like the LS, like sandrail masters. Our block had a spun cam bearing. Realistically, I could have removed and installed the cam bearings, but I didn't have the right tool. And plus, I've actually never really done it before. Obviously, I got our block in the back of my truck here. Got to get these cam bearings out, get them all nice and replaced. Let's go ahead and head in. Oh, check this place out, guys. Got sand rails. Looks like some type of like full-blown track Corvette here. Just a Lambo chilling. I wonder if that's LS swaps, because that'd be pretty rad.
Let's hope so.
Man, they got this big Whipple Charger LS here. We got some fancy stuff. Sean, what's happening, man?
What's going on, guys?
How you been?
Make it.
Hell yeah, thanks for having us. Sean's been my main man here that I've been on the phone with, bugging the crap out of when it comes to like LS stuff with this build as well as my own personal build stuff. So tell me about what do you do here?
I do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So I'll do, all the sales. We're in the showroom, so
yeah.
I'll help all the walk-in sales.
Okay.
Internet sales, phone sales, tech support. Right now it's sandcar season.
Sandcar season. So you guys must be busy.
Yes. As you can see, we have mostly sandcars everywhere. We don't own any of these. These are still owned by the owner of the car.
Okay.
And they want to sell them, so they bring them to us since this is what we specialize in.
Okay.
We get a bunch of them together, and it's pretty much like a used car lot for sandrails.
For sandrails. Okay. I mean, just briefly looking at everything over here, it looks like you have every single type of combination component for like LS motors, and got a bunch of fancy billet things. Like, man, this looks like a normal timing chain cover. You got like billet timing chain covers. It looks like you could build like already 500 different motors.
So this is all the stuff that we build in-house or make on the CNC machines.
Okay.
We'll go back, we'll take a tour of that. You guys can see some of the stuff.
That would be rad.
But pretty much anything billet you see here, we make in-house.
What you got back here?
This is the miscellaneous section. So we have anything from old iron block, small block Chevys. We got just your typical LS motor.
Okay.
We got Coyote motors.
Oh, wow.
There's big blocks over there.
Man, just block after block. Man, if you want a block, you can have a block. You want some headers? You got, man. My next question is, what don't you have here?
Import stuff.
Import stuff. Well, wait a minute. What about what's over here though? I'm not familiar with these 4-cylinder things, but this looks pretty import to me.
It looks like an import, but this is still a Chevy motor.
Still really?
Yeah, so this would be like a 2.0 liter supercharged motor out of a Chevy Cobalt.
Oh, I know, I was just noticing it got this big old, was that like a Roots type?
Correct.
So this is the machine shop.
This is where all the magic happens. So
awesome.
You guys can see we have a few things going right now.
Okay.
Here would be a good example for you. These would normally start out as like just a chunk of, aluminum. Uh-huh. And we'll machine one side, and then after that side's machine, we flip it over, do the other side, kind of make it look complete. Okay. And then we have to flip it one more time to put the final 2 holes in it. So this is for if you're doing like a remote oil kit. So
okay.
This will go in place of the oil filter.
Awesome.
So you can run your lines to like an oil cooler or a remote oil filter.
Rad. And that just starts off as just a chunk of aluminum.
Correct.
I want one of these. I want one of these so bad.
So here you can see this is where we're doing those valve covers.
Okay, so this is the machine that does the valve covers.
This is the machine that does it, and this is the actual fixture that those covers go on. So how you saw them over there,
that's what holds it in place.
We slide them on top of this so that we can finish all the top end work on them.
This is rad. And obviously, this is a fixture that you don't buy. You have to make it in-house. So you almost make your own tool to make the final product as well.
Yep, and we pretty much have one fixture for each part we make.
The other thing I want to point out, guys, like these are Haas machines. These are the same machines, like Haas, like F1. Like these are not cheap. And I'm looking at a couple of them in here.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. There's a lot of money in this room. The only thing I'm not seeing that I know everyone has is like a Bridgeport mill.
Well,
oh, I'm seeing one way back in the corner over there.
So like you said, here's our old school mill that
see, this is what I was looking for. Because I know like some of the oldest tools are also the best tools because they last forever.
And you can see both of them are both dinosaurs. You know, they're
oh
from
yeah.
the 50s.
Oh yeah. Now these are the tools I like right here, guys. This is cool. Looks like got another drill press, some type of grinder I'm not familiar with. And this looks like a way more fancy, newer mill.
This is actually a balance machine. So
oh, really?
When you're balancing your rotating assembly, this is what you use to do it.
Like rotating assembly is in like crankshafts and just crankshafts?
Pistons, no, crank rod and pistons.
Oh, wow. This tool does all of them.
At the same time?
Well, not at exactly the same time. You do one after the other.
Right, right. And you guys just stock up on the parts. I swear you could build like 10,000 LS motors.
Exactly.
And I've been told that your service shop is also your dyno room as well.
Correct. So we have an engine dyno over there, and we have 2 chassis dynos.
Okay, rad. Let's go check it out.
Check them out.
All right, let's go. So this is like their separate building right here for you know, their service as well as their dyno area. But whoa, check this thing out. I'm seeing a bunch of
chrome.
I'm seeing like chrome,
everything.
Chrome A-arms, chrome shocks. This is painted, hand-painted carbon. Or not, no, it's real carbon with a custom paint job on it. The honeycomb screen they got going on here. When I'm, you know, as a fabricator, I look at all these little small things, but there's too many of these small things that this is just super cool. Oh, look at even like this exhaust tip. If I hit the lottery, taking that. Oh man, you guys work on cars too?
Yeah, no, we just don't do off-road stuff. We do drag cars, classic cars, normal street cars, you name it.
Rad. So that's your guys' dyno room, huh?
It is.
That's cool. Yeah.
This is our main dyno that we use.
Okay.
It's all soundproof, insulated. It's got its own little greaser.
I was about to say, I hear the vent, like, you know, like pulling out all the exhaust, and it looks like you got that door that slides, you know, closed. So you guys have a pretty, like a dedicated dyno. This is not a dyno that's just in the back corner of a shop. We're gonna need our Camaro dyno very soon, like within 2 weeks. So we might have to bring that over and put it on the dyno.
We'll take care of it for you guys.
Awesome. Believe it or not, guys, it's the same dyno that I put my Mustang on way back when. Looks like we got a truck like what Zach's got back over here. Old C10.
Pretty much when we're in between projects waiting on something, we put all the cars over here so they're out of the way.
Okay. So this is kind of the storage part of the service shop. Ooh, that thing sounds nasty. Oh my gosh, you guys got a first gen Camaro over here? First gen Camaros. You know me with my 68. Looks like this is a 69 that looks like it's got some custom wide body here. This car looks oh my god. This is bad.
Wow.
Ooh, we got some turb skis, LS motor.
Look what color it used to be.
Oh, no way. Same orange as mine. What? That is some... What size are these? These are...
I guess 355. 29 by 50.
29, like 29 inches wide? That's what I'm assuming. That's a wide tire. Gotta head back to the garage because I love hanging out here and hanging out with Sean and seeing all this cool stuff, but we don't got a lot of time to finish our car. So let's get to it. Let's get some cam bearings in the motor and be on our way. I think James is working on our motor, so let's go head into their engine assembly room right in here. Man, tools for days, a whole bunch of heads. We got our main man James here, one of the head assembly guys over here at CBM, working on our block, getting them cam bearings out. How long you been working on engines?
Full time for about 14 years.
14 years, man, long time. Mostly on LS's or?
Since I've been here, it's been strictly LS's, Coyotes, Ecotech, stuff like that. But
okay.
For the most part, my old job, it was a mixture of everything.
Mixture of everything?
You know, your automotive vehicle to Baja, everything.
Awesome. What is the LS your favorite engine to work on, or is there a specific? By far. Why is that?
Because it's pretty much a very close replica to the old 350 small block Chevy.
Okay.
Chevrolet just did their homework and kind of just redesigned it, made it a lot more efficient.
Okay.
That's why they get the power out of these and they last.
Yeah.
Just like the old, you know, back in the nostalgia days, the 350 small block was the way to go.
That's rad, man.
Most people ran that. That's NASCAR, you know, NHRA, stuff like that. And so I like these motors. They're very well designed, oiling system, everything.
That's awesome. You were like a do-it-yourself guy. Like, you didn't go to school. You didn't, like, at the time there probably wasn't as much information that we have now, like on like Google and YouTube. It sounds to me like you learned just by picking up a wrench and just taking something apart and just seeing how to figure it out, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I started. Is, you know, my dad would be like, "Hey, go ahead and tear that motor down for me," you know, and I'd tear it down, and he trained me how to look for certain things. And when you tear them down enough, you know, you get an eye for things that just aren't right, something don't feel right, stuff like that. So
right.
It was, you know,
and you weren't afraid to ask questions, obviously, and yeah.
If you're not sure, stop. Cam bearings, a very crucial thing. There's small, tiny little oil holes in them, here and here. And there's an oil hole, that's why I marked the block.
Okay.
So I get them right in the same spot, because if you don't do that, what's going to happen is your mains are going to feed the oil to the cam. Okay. And then after that, this hole ain't lined up. So you're going to get no oil to the top.
It's going to starve it.
Yeah, and then valve guide issues, you know, everything. Right here on the block, you can see the oil hole. It doesn't go all the way around. So if you get the hole in the bearing right here, it's going to block off some of the pressure. It just makes it faster for me. I'll put the bearing on, line it up with my paint mark, hammer it in, and then, you know, go to the next one, do the same thing on the next one all the way back.
So like each one of these openings or journals are every single one is a different size.
Almost. A lot of times you could look here, they'll have the position. Okay. See, like it's 1814. This one will say 1814. Okay. That's going to be 1 and 5. Oh, okay. So 1 and 5 on these blocks are the same. Okay. But 2 and 4 are different from 1 and 5, and 3 is all by itself. There we go. So that's the biggest thing you got to do is you got to look at right here. If there's going to be a difference in the bearing, it'll tell you right here on the box.
That's cool. That's cool that they got a reference. You don't have to like, oh, now I got these bearings and now I got to re-Google it and which one goes where?
For some reason it doesn't, because I've had them, you know, it doesn't have the markings or it's an old box and the tab got ripped off. It's always 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you have a good cam bearing, you want to go right just past where the lip here meets the block. So you can still see some of the bearing. You want to go about right there. And when you're done, just what you could do is you could either look through or shine, get an air hose and blow through there. And always make sure you feel air come through it.
Well, just like what happened to this thing, I mean, it spun that bearing. When it spun that bearing, when I took it apart, I actually found shavings in here right behind the main bearing.
That's been a notorious problem, more so with the early LS's, is they would either spin number 3 or number 4 cam bearing. Okay. Now the new design bearing, that's why if you notice, they make bearings that are slightly thicker.
Oh, wow.
Slightly thicker to help support on the camshaft.
Like the load, yeah. And especially when you're putting like a, you know, bigger lift cam and all these gnarly cams, or even doing like a solid roller. Yeah. You know, obviously, yeah, you need the support.
The other biggest thing is you gotta have the correct tooling. You can't just do this with any tooling. It's very, very special and specific for all motors. You can't tell, but it has a little bit of a taper here. That way, as I'm hammering the bearing in, you know, it doesn't flare out or give me a big burr on this side of the bearing. That way the cam will still slide in and everything's fine. Okay. Because sometimes you get a cheap tool, you go to put the cam in and you get to about, you know, 3rd or 4th bearing and it locks up. You can't get the cam in because your tool flared it, and, you know, didn't keep its natural form.
Gotcha.
So you gotta have a good tool. That's the other key to making cam bearings easy on you.
Yeah, see, look, he's already got this back one in. This one, this is, psh. James is making it look easy. Because if I was to do this, this would be taking me like 3 hours. There it is, there's number 4. On to the final one.
You can tell he's done that enough too, because when he swings that hammer, it doesn't look. It's right next to it over and over.
And one for good luck.
Final love tap.
The final love tap. Hell yeah, look at that. We got some cam bearings. Like I said, if I was to do this would have taken me like 3 hours. James did it in what, 30 minutes? All right, James, well, thanks again, man. You helped me out a ton. So, all right, off we go. Yo, Mitch, stand next to that thing. Those tires are no joke. I bet this thing does, this thing does like wheelies for days, I assume.